Speaker, a former teacher, and wellness ambassador for Sagicor Group Jamaica. Versatile and talented, Shani does murals, paintings, and portraits. Now, she has also appeared in music videos for the likes of Mariah Carey, LL Cool J, Jay-Z, 112, Maya, Cisco, Busta Rhymes, and the late DMX. Now, when I tell you that Shani McGraham-Shirley, no normal, you understand, right? And today we are so honored to journey with Shani on the road to success. Shani, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to take us on your awesome journey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be invited on this program. Truly honored.
Wow, awesome. And we're really happy to have you on. Now, I usually get excited when I get information and then, to do some digging on Shani. It just became exciting the further I went. Like, I'm like, wow, superwoman extraordinaire. But our listeners will find out today. But let's begin with your foundation. How would you describe young Shani McGraham and the environment that you grew up in?
I grew up in a very loving family, a very supportive family. So I was blessed with that. Very, very close to my mom. So it's funny when a lot of people speak about their relationships with their mothers and how structured and rigid, and they weren't allowed to be themselves. They weren't allowed the freedom. I had the opposite. My mom she was a social worker. So I think the fact that she had knowledge on how to raise children and the psychology of children, she really allowed me to be me. You know what I mean? I wasn't a bad pitney, very mischievous. I would hang upside on anything, clothesline, tree. I was a climber. So it's funny to see the kind of things I do now at this age. It really was brewing from way back then. There was nothing high that I would not climb. So I had that kind of interaction. I wasn't big in sports, but I was very active. So I was a doer. I was always outside and just in a dirt. I was a doer. Boom, flick everywhere. I liked to be active.
Okay. Now you speak of mommy, but as a child, what did you admire most about your parents?
My dad is a strong silent type. I mean, very, very silent. So I used to tease him and ask him stupid questions just to get him to do his generic response of, He is an architect, very math oriented. So he was my go-to when I needed support with math work. And he made me feel secure knowing that if there was ever a problem, him there for me. Arabacative. Anybody mess with me, because there was even an incident where, interesting story, what us kids go through. Now it's harder with social media and social bullying and what have you. To give a little story on the interaction with my dad, back in the day, when we used to have regular phone call, you have to spin to make a phone call, you have to dial it. There was a kid that actually made these flyers about me, okay? It was horrible. He posted flyers, took my picture from my yearbook, printed my picture on naked bodies, and printed for hot section.
Shani, are you there? I think you're breaking up just a little bit.
It's 12:30 p.m. Lunchtime is Mother's restaurant time. Burgers, sandwiches, soup, and more. Mother's makes all day delicious.
Jamaica, taste it all. Yeah, well crispy fried chicken, please.
Yeah, with Pepsi.
2 orders of spicy jerk pork.
Yeah, with Pepsi.
Can you hear me?
Give me some cheesy patties.
Yeah, with
Can you hear me
Pepsi.
now?
Hey, can I get extra curry gravy?
Yeah, with Pepsi.
Make me some fried escovitch fish.
Yeah, with Pepsi.
Taste it all. Yeah, with Pepsi.
Pepsi.
A tip for safe and responsible gambling. Avoid alcohol while gambling. It can impair your judgment and cause you to lose control. For information on responsible gambling, call RISE at 888-991-4146. A message from the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
All right, thank you there. Shani, you were in that interesting and significant story, but you were breaking up a bit, so we did not hear much of it. We're going to ask if you can just take it from there. So you're talking about a time when your dad stood up for you 100%.
Okay, so yeah, we have to deal with the technology and the Wi-Fi's. I do apologize.
Right?
So as I was saying to you back in the day, this kid made these posters about me. Just to give you an idea of the support that I do have with my family, although my dad was the silent type. So the kid did these photos, took them from my yearbook picture from Immaculate, printed my face on these naked bodies, and put my phone number on it. And he went to Sovereign and he scattered these flyers all over the place. Okay?
Wow.
Simply because I did not want to be his friend. That's how this came about. Anyway, I had the most horrific phone calls coming into my house asking to speak to me, a child of 13, grown men with the huskiest, like picture the smoker's voice, you know? So my father started, why would you be asking to speak to my daughter? And we eventually got to the bottom of it and found out, well, my father did find where this boy lived, did go knock on his house, and did threaten to carry him straight to the police station. This is the involvement that I grew up in, where my parents were always there for me and always made me know they were there for me. My mom, very interactive verbally. My dad, silent, but physically there to let me know there was no problem. He wouldn't step in and intervene. So what do I remember most about my parents are those little things. It's not just one big eureka moment. Oh my God, my parents are amazing. It was, they were always there for me. No matter what mischief I got into, I could speak to my mother about it. She would tell me, I'm so disappointed in your judgment or your choices, but she always made me feel I could come to her.
Wow.
Those are the things that I remember and I resonate. I mean, yes, I had huge events, sad ones, happy ones with my family and with my parents, like my mom having a stroke when she was 40, and I had to end up raising practically my little brother when he was 3 months.
Wow.
Yes, I have significant things that happened, but the things that I really carry with me when I reminisce and I think about their ever presence. You know, all of us from that time period. Keep in mind, I'm in my 40s. My dad would go and hang out after work. There was a bar he used to go to show how accessible my family was. So yeah, my father, typical of that generation, them go drinking with them friend, them beer after work. I would call this bar, it was called Oh Yes, it's closed now. I knew the number on speed dial. And I would call, can I speak to daddy? And they would know exactly which daddy was being asked for. And I would go, daddy, I can't understand this math problem. Can you help me? And he would, there at the bar, on the phone, because cell phones weren't around, he was accessible. You know, so those are the things that I actually remember with my parents.
Wow. So you did have a solid foundation that provided support nonstop right throughout your formative years. This particular situation, which happened at 13, we know how teenagers can be brutal. How were you able to bounce back from that? Because getting the support from your family is one thing, but I can imagine having to go to school. Was that something you were able to deal with, and did you understand in the moment?
In the moment when it happened, of course, you can imagine how I fell to pieces.
Yes.
It was really jarring. I cried that whole weekend because it's hard. It's hard for a young girl. Not understanding why would somebody target me like that. I did nothing wrong. It's going through, and women tend to do that regularly. They question what is going on with them, what involvement, why me? I will admit that I do have that resilient type of personality that I bounce back and I get over things relatively quickly. So that did help with how I handled that situation. My parents constantly reminding me, Shani, it had nothing to do with you. But I did not want my dad to go to the police station with him. That I feared more, that it would have blown it up even more. He was like, Shani, you have to come with me for us to make this report. I'm not going anywhere, Daddy. I don't want to go up dead. You can imagine. So it was digging deep and that resilience that I think some of us naturally have, but over time, experiences tend to beat that out of us. Luckily, I was able to hold on to that and I moved forward. It showed me, despite you not doing anything wrong, how much ill can be done to you when you're not deserving of it and you did not welcome it. And that's what I think a lot of young women need to realize. It's not always about you. You know, it's not what you have done wrong sometimes with what comes our way.
Now, share with us a moment during your school life that is significant to you.
Which school life I've had?
High school, college, you know, I know you may have many, but just a significant one that, you know, perhaps has helped even to shape your life.
All right. And what I like about your show, you like when people are very real and authentic with you.
Yes.
So my school life, I went to St. Andrew Prep, I went to Immaculate High, I went to St. Andrew High, I went to Michael Teachers College. Funnily, when I was at Michael, if you notice the demographic who enters into the teaching profession now, because the teaching profession is not that attractive for making money, a lot of people use it as a stepping stone to go to a teacher's college, to get certifications, to move on to IRIE or UTech, you know? So a lot of people who were at Michael, typically, as people would say, did not look like me. I had just won Miss Jamaica. I drove my own car, which I worked hard and I paid for myself. So I stuck out like a sore thumb when I went to Michael. So they used to, initially, they would kind of size me up and go, come on, they say uptown girl, this brownie, she can't relate to nobody. And after a month, and the type of personality I have, I am myself all the time. It don't care where you drop me, who you see, and what you see is what you get. After a while, the response was, you know what, Shani, all right, for uptown girl. Lord, she cool for a brownie, you know. No man, Shani can flex, no worries, she can come with me. That for me was a typical, the mindset of a lot of people in Jamaica. Depending on where you go, depending on how you speak, how you look, what demographic they think you belong to, they think, because many times we have no clue. It was a significant moment to me to say, always be authentic, Shani. It has always worked for me. No matter where you drop me, people will size you up regardless, you know, whether you're showing a fake you or the real you. But I found being authentic to me and being genuine. When I was at Michael, they gave me, yeah, man, she all right, you're uptown girl. I really wanted to be Shani cool regardless. It didn't matter, which eventually that's where it went. But to hear people saying that to me, it solidified authenticity is what people value and will get you places.
Wow. Now, you mentioned winning Miss Jamaica Universe. So let's go back to 1998. What is it? 18-year-old Shani. What were some of the experiences you garnered from this exposure representing Jamaica in Hawaii?
Firstly, I had no intention of being a beauty queen. I had no intention of entering Miss Jamaica. After doing sixth form, I realized I was not cutting it. Academically, I was like, I'm not sure what I want to study, what I want to move on to, taking a gap year to figure out. My parents said, I'll allow you to figure out what you're doing, but you need to have a plan. You can't just sit down at home, cock up your foot and do nothing. So a girlfriend of mine said, Shani, enter Miss Jamaica, go on. Just tell him the way enter Miss Jamaica, it will keep you busy. So I was one of the last contestants to enter. I was told I could not win. Anyway, yeah, she have a pretty face, but she's too short. I'm 5'2". I'm the shortest Miss Jamaica documented in history. Worldwide, I think I am among the shortest to enter any of these pageants. I have a feeling somebody beat me at 5'1". So I was amongst documented the shortest ever. So the newspapers wrote about Shani McGraham, beautiful girl, intelligent, but she is not a candidate to win. She's just too short. So I have these articles so I didn't think I could win. But I was biding time. I never had an interest anyway. The experience when it was wonderful here in Jamaica, I was not very exposed. I didn't travel much. Being in Jamaica, this is our hometown. This is our turf. It's our people. You know, the camaraderie with the other fellow contestants. I enjoyed that. Being 18, being sent away to represent my country, that was very, very different. What it showed me, and I've had this out with some of the pageants, I personally think 18 is too young to enter into a beauty pageant and to represent your country. At 18, you're still trying to find yourself. You don't know who you are. You've opened yourself up to harsh criticism. Picture, you're 18. You don't know your head from your tail. You stand up on a stage in a swimsuit, basically telling the world, fire your best shot at me. Criticize me. Tell me your opinion. Am I too fat? Am I too skinny? Am I too short? Am I too... That's what I did. Hearing all of this criticism and feedback, and it chips away at young girls. It chips away at you establishing who you are, understanding your worth and your value, which can't be determined by your appearance. So for me, I went away. I didn't take it very seriously. At 18, seeing what the other countries did, especially the Latin countries, the girls had to have plastic surgery before they reached that final night. That was a mind-blowing thing for me to see that. Seeing people who had no support. You know what I mean? They told us cameras weren't allowed behind closed doors when I was in Hawaii. So you could be relaxed. None of the other countries were relaxed. They had on their heels, full makeup. Shani was in her sneakers and sweats going to the rehearsals to show how my head wasn't in the game at the level the other countries were. You know, so it was an amazing experience, yes. But I think that we send our girls too young. And I think the pageants overall need to bump up the age, because I personally feel it's damaging to the women who have entered the beauty pageants. Some make it out unscathed, great. But I do feel that a lot of the women who enter it as young girls get damaged and have a lot of repercussions that follow them throughout their life. That's just my opinion.
And no, look, I totally, hearing you detail it and you have lived it, it's an experience. You've been there, done that. It's really dropping some perspectives on it, because not being a part of a beauty pageant and just seeing them up there and they're exuding all this confidence, you really don't stop to think that there is actually a next side to it. How are they dealing with this negative feedback? Are they mature enough to handle it? What is their support system like? So you've raised some really serious questions, and the conversation is there and needs to be had.
There was one night when I went on the stage for one of the elimination rounds. Now picture at 18 stepping on a stage, and somebody, I will evidently will not call the name, who was very integral in the running of this event, said to me before I stepped foot on the stage, I hope you know by the final night you need to lose 5 pounds. Your thighs are very huge.
Wow.
This was when I was about to exit backstage to step on a stage at 18 years old. And I had to walk out there with tears in my eyes. And I did walk out with a screw face, committed vex. But people don't stop to think what these young girls put themselves through and the damage. You know, when you think of people with these eating disorders, it stems from a lot of these harsh criticisms. And yes, we chose to put ourselves up there for that, but we did it without the knowledge of what we really were signing up for.
Wow. We're going to take a quick time signal, soon come back.
The mission of the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs includes revising Jamaica's legal and constitutional infrastructure and accelerating the pace of reform. The time by the MLCA is...
It is now 12:50. If you are just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with none other than Shani McGraham-Shirley. Now, Shani, even though you did not win the Miss Universe contest in Hawaii, it opened doors for you from Jay-Z to Mariah Carey's Sweetheart featuring Jermaine Dupri to LL Cool J's Imagine That or 112's Anywhere, you appeared in music videos for some of the biggest names in the industry. How were you able to connect with so many top entertainers during that time?
Well, that was, once again, an interesting buck-ups. I was selected to actually be in a movie. This is how it all started. Hype Williams came to Jamaica to film his movie Belly. There were shooting, so he selected my picture twice, not realizing it's the same girl. I had two different looks and said, okay, we're going to hire these two girls to be in this video, to be in this movie. Finding out it was me. Anyway, so we're there at Frenchman's Cove, waiting to film for this movie, but the film truck broke down trying to get there. So I spent the entire day with the whole film crew, Hype Williams, the director, just liming and once again, being myself, being the idiot that I am half the time, forming the fool, and we just have vibe, right? Once again, for me, authenticity has always worked. That's what opens doors for me. Being myself, so at the end of the day, before we were packing up to leave because the film truck could make it, so I was not in the movie. They were filming that one day for a scene for the movie. So Hype says to me, you want to go Spain with us next week? So I thought he was kidding. So I go, yeah, man, make your people call my people. Just literally for me the fool. So anyway, we're packing up or whatever. And the film crew said, Shani, you have your visas in place? I said, what are you talking about? They're like, he was serious. We're filming a Mariah Carey video in Spain next week. Do you have? I'm like, whatever. I'll believe that. The furthest I did ever go was Miami, right? To show how inexperienced with traveling I was. So said, so done. He called, and my first video, just based off of the interaction with the whole crew, I got booked for the Mariah and Jermaine video. And then from there, once again, with the interactions, and they claim I'm easy to work with. Then I got an next job and a next job. And they kept, so I've never actually auditioned. Unlike most people, all of the opportunities I got, I never auditioned for it. It was people meeting me on set, interacting with me and going, hey, we're doing this, so and so, you want to be a part of it? And it just kept rolling over.
Wow. Now, being in front of the camera and around so many celebs, how did this period of your life sort of, help to shape the woman that you are today? Because you could have, just be caught up in the glitz and the glam. We're talking about Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, DMX, like all these top celebs. Like, how did that help to shape the Shani McGraham-Shirley that we know today?
It certainly helped to shape me in a way that many people wouldn't realize. I am a very principled person and very opinionated. And I entered into this world knowing that a lot of these young women doing these videos had the nickname video vixens. And some of them, yes, made it bad for others, where they were fraternizing with the celebrities and the crew people and the drinking and the drugs, and that scene is very real. I went over there wanting people to know I am a principled young Jamaican woman. I'm not into that. I am here to work, but I went on the other extreme. No, you can't invite me to that party. I'm here to work. No. And I was nicknamed the little Jamaican B. I don't even know if I can use the B word here with you. You can fill in the blank. So they found me to be, no man, she's very rigid, she's stiff. I got invited to these parties and the Playboy Mansion, I declined all of it because I did not want to be seen in that light. I didn't know how to teeter that line and just chill, Shani. You can go, but just chill. So I actually had a weird interaction after I did the Jermaine Dupri video with so many men hitting on me. It was an eye-opener and a little unnerving for a young girl who never experienced anything like that. So by the time I reach a Jay-Z video now, I dip on the Jay-Z video. I'm in the car. If anybody has seen the video, I'm in this drop top and the car is bouncing, right? So when I met Jay-Z for the first time, my very first interaction with this man was, Listen, I'm just here to work. Let's keep professional. You know, say, Jay-Z did put me in my place. He was like, excuse me? Suppose I came here and said, how would that have gone over with you? So let's start over. Let's take it down a notch. Hi, I'm Jay-Z. And in that moment, I went, oh my God, I am so sorry. And I told him what was happening. And he goes, I fully get it. He's actually the coolest guy ever. We had such meaningful, exchanges, and we talked for a very long time, just the business and how for young women coming on these scenes. But for me, it was that pivoting point in my life where in figuring out who I was, standing up for who I want to be, but not being so rigid, because you have to see how it comes across to others. So it was that moment of me finding myself. It was the first time I ever even saw what cocaine was. Somebody actually on a set offered, would you like some? And me, like the real sheltered idiot, what is that? Everybody looked at me like, are you an idiot?
Wow.
I'd never seen that before. Where would I see that in Jamaica? I was so sheltered. And I simply gave it, no, thank you. Like I've had my fair share. So my life could have gone a completely different direction. I was given offers of plane tickets to send to me to fly me up to particular parties that were happening. No, we'll send a private jet for you. No, thank you. I was given movie scripts. I'm like, I can't act. No, thank you. I had people calling saying, Shani, this person wants you and they actually want you. You'll make it big, but if they get you, what they'll be doing with you. So my life really, if I did not have a strong family background and principles, which I'm so grateful for. And also, I have to say, for Hype Williams looking out for me, because yes, he was the director of all of these videos. He looked out for me like a little sister, and he was like, Shani, I don't recommend this. So I did have people looking out for me, giving me extra protection. So it was an interesting time.
Wow. Look here, it is really awesome. And how old were you at that point? Young 20s, early teens?
I was 18, 19. I stopped when I was about to turn 20. No, I stopped at 20. My last video I did, I was 20, where it was never my passion. The jobs came to me. When I hit 20, I knew I want to settle down. Yes, I wanted it very early. I met the love of my life at 20. And my mind was in a different place. So I got another job offer, and I'm like, I'm going to turn away from this. Thanks, but no thanks.
Wow, that is awesome. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success. We're journeying with none other than Shani McGraham-Shirley. We're going to break for the cash pot. When we come back, so much more. I told her yesterday in a WhatsApp message, I said, boy, your story is so rich. I don't think we can do it in one. Oh, I know, but we're going to try. Listen up, your top draw dollars. Pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pots. Lunchtime draws up next.
When me use Island Fresh with aloe vera, it make me skin feel so much smoother. So if you want to feel better and smell fresher, use Island Fresh with aloe vera.
Manufactured by Island Products, 934-0666.
The time is...
It is now 12:59. We are standing by. Listen up, your top draw dollars. Pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pots. Lunchtime draws up next.
Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday, March 23, 2023. I'm Taiba. Welcome to the Supreme Ventures 1 p.m. live game draw. Now, before we begin, here's a quick look at our mid-morning winning numbers. Remember now that all Supreme Ventures live games, they are being supervised by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. Now let's put some money in your top drawer for $600,000. Here are your winning numbers, so good luck. And first of a top draw this afternoon, we have the number 12. After 12, that's a 10. Your third winning top draw number coming down, 13. Following 13, 17. Just in case you have plans for the jackpot, you're gonna need 11. And now, let's play with our dollars game. I hope you're feeling lucky. The winning numbers are coming your way. Let's start dollars off with lucky number 2. Let's count up to 3. After 3, 32. Next up for dollars, 11. After 11, we have the number 34. Here comes lucky number 5. 14. Coming down slowly but surely, we have 36. 16. 1. 28. Let's end dollars this afternoon with the number 13. And now, for some easy winnings with our Pick 2 game. The winning numbers are coming right up. And first up, we have 24. Your second Pick 2 number is 13. Once again, 24 and 13 are your winning Pick 2 numbers. Up next, you can play it 3 ways. That's, of course, our Pick 3 game. Here we go. And first up, we have an 8, the second Pick 3 number. 6, and your third and final number. That's a 2. Once again, 8, 6, and 2 are your winning Pick 3 numbers. It's time to turn up your winnings. Get ready for Pick 4. And first up, we have a 6, the second Pick 4 number. 7, the third number coming up. 6, and your fourth and final number is an 8. Once more, your winning Pick 4 numbers are 6, 7, 6, and 8. Now, it's easy for win. What do you say we heat things up with Hot Pick? Here we go. And this afternoon's winning Hot Pick number is lucky number 14. Congratulations to all our Hot Pick winners. Again, your winning number is 14. And of course, now you can win all of $280 for every $10 winning cash pot bet. Let's get ready to play our cash pot game for Thursday, March 23, 2023. We know you live to play it, but can you win it? Get ready to be a big winner, and let's see what the winning number is going to be. The winning cash pot number is lucky number 32. Congratulations to all our cash pot winners. Again, the winning number is 32. Now let's mega your winnings and good luck. What's it going to be this afternoon? The Mega Ball has been selected, and now it's time for the monster winning. So good luck once more. Let's see what color ball is going to be selected. The Monster Ball has been selected. Remember to go Mega and Monster 6 times per day for cash bot for more chances to win. Again, the winning cash bot number is 32 Lucky Mark Gold, and the Mega Ball was selected for Pick 3, Pick 4, Hot Pick, and cash pot. And for Monster, the Monster Ball was selected for cash pot. Let's have a look at the numbers, and of course, congratulations to everyone who won. Do join Kerry at 3 p.m. with more games you love to play. I'm Taiba. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and cash pot special pot draws. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with none other than Shani McGraham-Shirley. Now, where we are now, so let's talk about Shani the educator. What was it like in the classroom for you?
I absolutely love teaching. That is something that comes naturally to me. So I was first at VAS, there for a while. Then I did my longest stint at a preschool, step-by-step preschool. Funnily, people ask me if I don't miss teaching. I left teaching little children for teaching big children. So I find that once a teacher, always a teacher. Mm-hmm. And what people didn't realize, I actually did special education. So the roles I had played, I taught a remedial class when I was at VAS, or I dealt with kids with mild disabilities when I was at the preschool, whether it's autism, Down syndrome, even any form of learning disability. That was my specialty. But I've always enjoyed it. But once I got the opportunity to go into fitness, I still interact with kids, but through fitness. I still interact teaching people different topics, different things about themselves, development. But now I'm teaching big kids.
No, let's talk about you leaving the classroom for the fitness room to teach. How did you get into fitness, and why did you leave the classroom basically for the fitness center?
Every change in my life was always done without planning and preparing for it. Although I like to tell people, you must always have a plan, you must always have a goal. But these pivotal moments in my life, I would have to say, was ordained by God, because there was no initial plan and intention to do so. I was on to my third pregnancy when I was at Step by Step preschool. So I was there maybe for 8 years teaching. In the latter part of my last pregnancy, I have 3 kids. When I went on maternity leave, I started trying to get into fitness for my own personal weight loss. Each pregnancy, I was 200 pounds. I was huge. Wow. Remember, I'm only 5'2". Yeah, I was a butterball.
Oh, wow.
I did well wrong, okay? In me trying to lose weight, I went to Shakti, only lost 6 pounds in a boot camp. Over 6 weeks, I was devastated. I bawled. Can you imagine? Yeah, I give you all, and all you lose was 6 pounds. But in me doing that, they told us we had to do a class that was interesting to us. I started doing Zumba, and I fell in love with Zumba. Zumba is a dance fitness. It's just heavily Latin based, but it's pretty much what I do now. In doing the class, it was in the summer, and the young lady who was teaching it was leaving. She was the only person in Jamaica teaching Zumba at the time. So Shakti would have had to remove the Zumba from the schedule. Everybody in the class who was attending it was devastated. They're like, Shani, you're the only one in here can dance. If you teach it, we'll keep coming to the class. I'm like, I'm not a dance teacher. I'm not a fitness instructor. I'm bigger than you. What do you mean? They're like, we don't care. If you teach a class, we'll keep coming. And then the other clients begged Shakti, hiya Shani, we don't want to stop the class. We love Zumba. She's the only one who can dance. Shakti took a chance on me and said, boy, Shani, if you want to do it, we'll keep the class on the schedule. If you can get your accreditation after. All right? So I said, you know what, God, you're pushing me in a direction I never thought I would. And at the time, the school I was at, numbers of kids weren't coming in. I had the baby class. So they weren't sure if the baby class would have been able to open for that term. So I said, you know what? Things are lining up. Maybe I should try this. So I did. Jumped into teaching it at Shakti. Nobody else in Jamaica was teaching Zumba at the time. I then offered it to every gym in Kingston. I was teaching at about 10 different gyms, 4 different companies. I draw down Marga like this. Because remember, I started out teaching heavy. And then I end up becoming a rake because I was teaching so much cardio.
Wow.
The weight just melted off. It was crazy. And then after that, I was like, I can't take the one bag of driving up and down all over. I need my own space. And then I created a studio. So that's how the pivot happened. It was never my intention to walk away from the classroom and enter into fitness. I think God just opened doors and pointed me in a direction.
Talk about divinely orchestrated.
I tell you, that's how God works.
No, but there are so many components of health, and it's not just eating healthy or working out 5-6 times per week. There is emotional health and mental health, and clearing toxic thoughts, feelings, etc. Are vital. But at what stage of your life did you realize good health is a lifestyle and not just running on the treadmill or doing all this cardio to lose weight?
You hit the nail on the head when you say, wellness is not just about what you eat and the exercise. It's so much more. And that is the platform on which I stand now, especially as a Surgical Wellness Ambassador, that I'm trying so hard to push out there. I've struggled with depression my whole life. A lot of people don't know this, but from when I was a teenager, it's a reality for me. Once I got into fitness, I realized the exercise would change my mood. It would change how low I would get. It didn't completely eradicate my bouts of depression, but it significantly helped. I functioned better. I was in a healthier state of mind once I started incorporating fitness. Using my own experiences, I realized creating a balance in your life, how everything else can work better. Everything has to work in tandem. So I tell people, you're trying to get a handle on your life. You can't just look at the food you put in your mouth. Oh yes, you're getting the right amount of exercise. What about your spiritual wellness? What about your emotional wellness? All of those things have to work together for people, especially in a marriage, trying to ensure that your marriage is healthy, your sexual wellness. A lot of people don't realize all these things have to work together. Hell, your financial wellness. If you're stressing and struggling with where your money coming from and how you're paying your bills. So me using my platform, me using that I'm such a talker, I can talk about anything. I realized I could get through to people because I'm real, I'm practical, I don't sugarcoat it. And I've been trying to share with people and give them examples. One of the things I promote a lot, we learn the most from each other. We need to stop being so cagey with our own information and our own experiences, because exactly as you're doing, Kishima, by inviting people on your show to speak about their journey and what their reality has been, somebody can relate and go, that did happen to me, but nobody spoke about it. But Shani said she struggled with depression. When they couldn't scrape her off of the bathroom floor, when she was down on her back for 5 days straight, this is what she did to get out of it. This is how she handled saving her marriage. If people speak and share their experiences, we would be a healthier and more balanced people in general. So yes, you're 100% right. It's not about eating alone. It's not about fitness alone. It's about checking all the boxes to ensure your overall being is well. It's not one component.
No, absolutely. And I'm happy that you echoed that, because in doing the show like Road to Success, and when I came up with the idea, I really wanted a space where people can know that, look, you're not alone. And most of us, you don't talk, some people just tend to talk about others as opposed to just talking about what you're going through with an inclination and a notion to truly help. So really happy that you echoed that. Also, exactly. March is IRIE FM's Healthy Lifestyle Month. So really happy when you were able to come on, because no more than ever, living a healthy lifestyle is like a new fad for a lot of persons. And we see more Jamaicans and people worldwide, just wanting to lead a healthier lifestyle. They're more conscious about health. So,
but they're not knowledgeable as to what health is.
Right.
Health is not just exercise and nutrition. So you hit the nail square on the head.
Right. So I want you know, as the expert, the professional, and in commemoration of IRIE-FM's Healthy Lifestyle Month, to share with our listeners what a healthy lifestyle should include. Because a lot of people tick off on their list, okay, gym Monday to Friday, I am checked, I am good.
All right. For me, what I promote to my clients, a healthy lifestyle, let's itemize. You need to have balance. That is the utmost at the top, which people don't realize. It has to be balanced, and then you have to ensure that all the boxes or most are checked. So under balance, what do we need to check off? Your fitness, okay? Yes, we're going to the gym. Doesn't have to be a gym. Fitness and physicality is about movement and using your body. People say, Shani, I can't afford a gym. You don't need a gym. You can move at home. You can move in your community. You can run up the hill. You can go to the beach and swim with the people them. You can go swing on the clothesline outside. Go for a walk. It's being physically active, okay? What you're eating. Yes, healthier foods are more expensive. I get that. Cheap food, unfortunately, the bun, the white rice, the box lunch on the roadside. But you want it to be balanced. Grow some of your own provisions. Go to the market early on a weekend when you're not. There are ways to get creative to get the nutrition in. And nutrition is not rocket science. I tell people, eat closely as God intended. That is a guideline. And moderation. Your spirituality. I am a strong believer that you have to have your spirituality in check. I am a Christian. God in my life is very important. Whatever people's beliefs are, they have to ensure that they create time for that. Their emotional well-being. So remember, under the heading of balance, physical, your nutrition, your spirituality, your emotional state. What are you doing to control your stress level? Right now in Jamaica, stress are the biggest killer. All the NCDs that people keep speaking about, NCDs meaning the non-communicable diseases, hypertension, cholesterol, high blood pressure. All of those diseases are things we're giving ourselves. We're killing off ourselves because we're not controlling our stress level. We're not being selective with the food we're putting in our mouth. So you have to ensure that you're having a decompressed time. How many of us? This is a day in my life. I'm stressed out. I try to get the picking them out of the house in the morning before I can go to work. You're already screaming from your eye open in the morning. Hey, put on your shoes. Mally, get your bag. So on, move the dog them out of the parking lot so I can drive out. You start from there. Kids dropped off. You're now heading to work. Traffic is stressing you. You reach your desk or whatever your job is. The stress of the day. You want to tear your hair out now. You're heading home. What's the first thing that happens when I even get to my front door? My kids are already standing out, ready to ask me a question, arguing with each other. I don't even have time to decompress yet. So I'm already like, just give me a second. Where is the 30 minutes that you're using for self? So literally, I'm going to sit in my car quietly before I even drive home. Decompress. I'm going to go to a yoga class. Decompress. I'm going to go and park up, have a nice lookout somewhere, just to woosah for a second before stepping into the next role. So we have to be the healthiest us, we need to check off our list. It can't just be one aspect. Are you turning off your devices at night to wind down? I am guilty of that. My husband keeps saying, Shani, you're on the Instagram, you're on the sort. Even the stimulation of the blue light on the computer, the laptop, the TV, that overstimulates us. We need to ensure that even that we're decompressing from, to say we're living a balanced, healthy life. I'm not preaching this because I've mastered all of it. I haven't. I struggle half the time. But at least we have a plan, we have a goal. I'm going to try and do better. Manageable portions. Don't have these big grand goals. I'm going to exercise 6 days a week. I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables and drink how much liters of water. Do something manageable that you can feel accomplished. I'm going to exercise 3 days a week. I'm going to ensure that I drink 2 liters of water for the day. That you can check off and feel good about yourself that you've accomplished something.
Wow. No, you are the creator of Yasso, a Caribbean dance fitness program, and director of Yasso Fitbox. Tell us about how our listeners can, be a part of this movement as they strive towards a healthier lifestyle. How does it work?
Okay, well, firstly, I'm going to give myself a little plug here. So Yasso Fitness is my baby, it's my gym. We have this program called the Fitfire series. So for people who don't like to go into the physical structure of a gym, Fitfire Soca series is an outdoor fitness class. Everybody right now get ready for carnival. So we're having a Soca series. Actually, we'll have one today. It's every Thursday for the next 4 Thursdays. It's at Barbican Football Field. Now picture, 90 minutes, non-stop dancing, 10 different instructors rotating on stage every 10 minutes, right?
Oh, wow.
It's awesome vibe. When I got into fitness, I wanted to create something that wasn't boring. I hate boring. Not everybody can just be on a treadmill and just run for an hour. Go to the weights room, weights for an hour. I believe that fitness should be fun. Fitness should cater to each person as individuals. So if you like to dance, Kashima, you come at a dance class. But if Tyrone like to do cycling, he can go to the spin class. If so-and-so want a mix, you know what? I like a little dancing with a little weights. You go to a fusion class. So I came up with these concepts of non-traditional classes that people can come to and be guided by instructors. So you don't come to my studio and work out by yourself. You actually go to a specific class, whether it's Pilates, whether it's yoga, because I think fitness cannot be cookie cutter because we're all not the same. So there are different spaces, different big gyms that offer traditional forms. I wanted to offer a space that people could have fun but get the same results. Like, for example, I was the first person in a structured formal setting teaching pole fitness back in the day. I had more poles than a strip club, right? Because I wanted women to feel empowered and have fun doing fitness in a very, very non-traditional way. So that's why I came up with the concept of Yasso Fitness. Why? Because wherever Shani is, Yasso nice.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Now, for parents who are listening, you did mention, you have your 3 children. What are some healthy tips? Because, children, a lot of them, they'll gravitate towards cake and ice cream and all the unhealthy stuff if you allow them. But what are some of the things that, parents can do to ensure that their children as well are living a healthy lifestyle?
This one is such a loaded question. Children really do live what they learn. And they learn the most not from what we verbally tell them. They emulate what they see. So if they see mommy and daddy eating all the unhealthy stuff and drinking all the sodas and this and that, but yet you're turning around and telling them, you have to eat your fruits and vegetables, you have to eat what I give you, you have to. Children's brains don't work like that. I wish it did. I love to tell them, do as I say and not as I do. It don't really work. That's the reality. So the first thing is they need to see you doing it. You need to bring them with you to be active, to live a healthy lifestyle. Do something with them. I'm not one of those fitness people that tell everybody, you have to eat healthy. You can't eat fried chicken. Pizza is the devil. No. I personally teach moderation. Have those things. Allow the kids to be kids. Allow them to have a soda. But I don't buy soda and keep it in my house. When we go out, or we're going to go to a restaurant, and you're going to order the soda if you want. We're not having it at home on a daily basis. Moderation is what I personally preach. It's a realistic thing. You don't have to do everything every single day. Moderation, practicality. Portion control. Do it with them. Let them see that you're living the lifestyle. Don't be a hypocrite. That's basically it. Don't raise your children in a hypocritic manner.
Yes. No, absolutely. What I want to ask you, you do so much, from motivational speaking, you're a brand ambassador for Sagicor, with running a business, being an entrepreneur, ensuring that everything is in place. You're also a mommy and you are a wife. What keeps Shani McGregor focused, balanced, and who pours into you when you're having those moments like, I've had enough? Because as humans, we have those days.
Oh, girl, you're really you're going hard. I break a lot of times because it's a lot. I will not lie.
Mm-hmm.
I speak about balance. It's a constant struggle for me. I am trying to balance my life. It is hard and I have not mastered it. Will I ever master it? I don't know. But some try, some fall off the wagon, so I try again. I have been blessed with a very supportive husband. I'm not lie. We're together now about 23 years.
Oh, wow.
This year I'm married 20 years. And he gets me. He knows when I am falling apart and he knows when I am fraying. You know, when a fabric and the fibers just are fray out. If you don't stitch that back together soon, the whole thing is just going to rip apart. He knows when that's about to happen. So he is my best friend. He does pour into me a lot. I won't lie. So it's a blessing I have. And I do have a strong community around me. I've been blessed in my business. My staff, they're like family. And I keep telling people this. You're only as successful as the people who work with you. From my managers, my ancillary staff, from my security guard, from my instructors. As it relates to my work environment, if this, for example, my helper who keeps Fitbox, speak and span, she'll look at me and just by looking at me, she'll go, Mrs. Shirley, don't push nothing anymore from morning. Here, eat something. As simple as from there to clients asking me, Shani, do you need anything of me? Even for my event tonight, I have clients calling me going, is there anything I can help with? I tell people we're a village and it takes a village to function. I have been blessed with a lot of people who do pour into me sometimes. I cannot behave as though I do it all on my own. I don't. It's a village.
Wow.
It is a village. Yeah. And I'm grateful to all of them.
That's really important. No, I want to talk about the artsy side of you. When do you get time to do your portraits? When do you get time to do your murals? And is there anything that you have created that you're most proud of?
To be honest with you, I have not dabbled in art in a very, very long time. People who know that I used to keep coming back to me saying, Shani, you were so good at it. You need to tap back into that side of you. So no, I haven't. I haven't done it in forever. The piece I'm most proud of, probably a portrait I did of my daughter. And I think I shared that one with you.
Yes.
It was a lead work drawing that I did. I used to do a lot of murals for children's rooms. Funnily, and I shared with you, which nobody knows, back in the day when I used to do painting techniques on walls, no matter how high the wall is, I think the highest wall I did a mural on, it was an asymmetrical wall and one side went up by maybe 20 feet high.
Wow.
But I actually did at the Bob Marley Museum, which I was telling you that nobody knows I did it. The house attached to the Bob Marley Museum, I actually was the one who did a lot of the ragging and painting techniques in about 5 or 6 of the rooms in the Bob Marley Museum, Bob Marley's house, the one on Hope Road. I did pebble dash walls. Don't ask me why I would sponge a pebble dash wall with a molten technique. I ripped open my hands and I finished that job bleeding. Wow. It was an exterior wall that we said, we're going to go funky. And it was a creative time period. But once I got into fitness, once again, when you speak about balance, you can't do it all. I gave a talk at St. Andrew High School for girls the other day. And one of the teenagers, I was bowled over by this question coming from a child. I wasn't prepared for them to ask me. They said, how do you have it all? And in that moment, I had to say to that teenager, my finding, you cannot have it all at the same time. So my art being something that was time consuming, I haven't touched that in years because I have so many other projects going on, trying my best to keep all these balls juggling. None can really shine if you're still focusing on all the others. Can I be the absolute bestest mom in the world? Not if I'm focusing on my work. Can I be the best motivational speaker? Not if I'm focusing on the fitness and my children. Can I be the best business owner and CEO of Yasso Fitness Limited at the top of my game? Not if I'm giving my husband attention. You can be good at many things at the same time. You cannot be the best at all of them. So time has not allowed me to tap back into my art side.
You know, we are a product of our experiences. However, looking back at your journey, is there anything that you would have done differently?
I'm going to say no. Reason why. There are a lot of things that have happened in my life that have gone awry, have left me in tears. But every experience we go through teaches us new lessons. It teaches us how resilient we can be. Every failure I've encountered has been a teachable moment and a springboard that propels me to something new. Going through when I said my mom had that stroke, would I choose for my mom not to have had the stroke? Sure. Did something come out of that experience? Me being a 15-year-old girl having to take on such great responsibilities, it made me who I am today. So it don't make sense. I look back and go, I would have done that. I would have this. I had a partnership that failed. Would I have not done that? No, I have no regret. Going into that partnership that failed, it played a role in my life at that time. It was beautiful for that moment. But like many things in life, it has a beginning and some things have an end. What did you learn on that journey? You know, the name of your show, Road to Success. Success looks very differently for different people. And the only way you can journey anywhere is by the potholes you went through, the detours that we took. That is what made me who I am today. All the mucky crap that I went through, it made me resilient. It made me grow. Steve Harvey did a talk once, and I thought it was brilliant. When you throw dirt on something and manure on something, you can use another word that he would have used. What happens with dirt and manure piled on top of us? Something beautiful grows from it. So,
wow.
No.
Oh, that is awesome. And one final question, you know, your journey, I've been saying it all morning, just, you know, thinking about all that you do, that your journey is basically a representation of the phrase, be all you can be. No limitations. But what advice would you give to someone right now who is listening and they are at a standstill on the road to success on their own journey?
Put your blinders on. Many of us are distracted by the noise around us, other people doing well and what success looks like for other people. Put your blinders on, stay focused to what is the most important thing in your life. And yes, apart from God, you are the most important thing in your life. We have to be selfish in order to be selfless. So I would advise them, take a step back, be introspective and figure out what is it that you really want. Define your goal and work tirelessly and unapologetically towards that goal that is going to serve the person, that's going to serve you. Don't care who may fall by the wayside, because not everybody wants to see us successful. Not everybody who is really cheering us on are really cheering us on. And don't be discouraged by failure. You drop 10 times, you get up 11. Just be true to yourself. Figure out your goal, focus, laser beams. You will buck up in that wall, buck up. The next time, go around the corner. It's doable, but you need to be true to yourself.
Wow, Shani McGraham-Shirley, thank you so much. Can I tell you something? I am inspired. You have dropped so many gems. Thank you for sharing and being so authentic and real. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you.
I appreciate this platform. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. This person says, Queen Kish, you did again a powerful interview. Can I tell you something? I am 5'2" myself, and sometimes people are intimidated. You can't get me to do anything I don't want to do. Respect. Bless up to Shani McGraham-Shirley. Absolutely loving this one. This other person says, this is an awesome woman. Continue being the person that you are. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much again to Shani McGraham-Shirley. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
She is indeed a success story, don't it?
It may only be another minute. It may only be another minute. It may only be another minute. Something you pull it. Man, I'm growing up place, I'm never get no respect. No. Never get no good education, can't get no big.
Bless up to Rohan Johnson. Rohan Johnson says the interview was nice and IRIE. I did learn a lot from it. We really need a part 2. Bless up yourself, Rohan Johnson. Big up, of course, to IRIE Muma locked in. She says, good afternoon, Kishima. IRIE Muma locked in. Great interview. Big up to Shani McGraham-Shirley. Yellow in Claremont says, nice interview, Kish. Absolutely loving it.
My story about this for those who persevere.
Stick and stay. See you on the flip side of this break.
Get a juicy the classic from Wendy's. Wendy's Dave's Classic, the juicier, tastier burger.
The time by Wendy's is...
It is now 1:37.
How are you protected when you save with a licensed deposit-taking institution? In each licensed deposit-taking institution, your savings of $1.2